Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, we've got a Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is, it's a very yielding energy, okay? It's definitely a card of different perspectives, trying to see things in a different way, right? Because I feel that sometimes we get so immersed in what we're doing or how we're feeling that we don't always see both sides of it, right? I feel like there's a situation right now that you're being asked to sort of yield to. This sometimes for me is a card of like that trust fall with the universe, where it's just like you're being asked to just dive into something, even though there are parts of you that are scared, nervous, insecure, doubting, questioning, uncertain, right? The universe is kind of saying, it's like a trust building exercise, it's like just lean back and fall. I promise I'll catch you. Sometimes this is a card of sacrifice. Sometimes this is the card of giving up something that we know to be very comfortable and very safe and very predictable, even familiar, for what is unknown, for what might be scary, for what might be a whole... they're going down a river, let's say, right? And yeah, it might be very calm and gentle for a while. Maybe there's going to be some rapids. Maybe there's going to be some areas where the river sort of splits off into 2 or 3 different streams, and you're being asked to kind of take that chance. Yeah, I think you're somebody that can, when the circumstances are correct, completely surrender yourself to the spiritual current, right? It's pretty much what this card is about. Surrendering to the current. Okay? In this case, it's a current of water. I think it's an emotional ride for sure. Let's see where it's going to go. Let's see what things we might meet along the way. All right. We're going to put this card into some context here. We've got a Chariot card. That seems to be your vessel, your boat, right? We've got an 8 of Swords. Makes perfect sense. Look at that, though. The 9 of Cups. The High Priestess. Oh, and the Adjustment card. Interesting. Very cool. 3 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, the Princess of Wands. Makes perfect sense, right? And finally, yes, the Eon card. This is extraordinary because we're looking at the 9 of Cups back here, and why would you float down the river away from that, right? Well, only if the promise was that this is going to be a leveling up even from this, right? If we think the 9 of Cups is good, you have no idea how happy you'll be at the end of this little journey, right? This little riverboat ride that we're taking, okay? Because the Eon card there is the leveling up. The Eon card there is really that this is a doorway, right, to a future that is beyond expectations, right? The only reason we would give this up is if what's coming in the future is going to be better than that, is going to be bigger than that, it's going to be a transcendence, a growth, an evolution of that, right? We're not trying to go backwards, right? So I think Spirit's kind of saying, trust in the situation that's in front of you right now. Trust that Spirit's got you, right? And trust that that all the things are aligned for you to really prosper and profit from this sort of emotional risk that you're taking, Okay? We could be talking about something physical, financial. We do have this earth energy in the position of the environment. It's an emotional ride, even though we don't have a lot of cups cards. We don't have a lot of any of them. What we have a lot of is the major arcana. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We'll put it right here with Kevin, aka Mr. Bates, the bullfrog in love, right there for later. Yeah, it will tie everything together. That card's going to give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. We're going to do it together as a group exercise. All right, I hope you'll play along with me. Okay, looking around the room here, we've got major. That's a lot of major arcana energy, right? It's a lot. And then of course we have fire, we've got water, we've got air, we've got earth. So it's pretty balanced as far as the elements go. So to me that kind of shows an alignment, right? That shows that everything's put together in the right way for you to take advantage of something, for you to really move forward with something, okay? But we have 2 fire cards. And I think that's very interesting too, because it's kind of like the 3 of Wands is your identity, it's your virtue, it's you doing the right thing, it's you checking in with your impulse to make sure it is correct. Because what we kind of don't want is to be impulsive. And that, I think, is your dilemma right now with that 8 of Swords. In other words, you're sort of debating whether or not this is a smart move or not. You know, maybe you're just being rash. Maybe it's totally risky and it's not worth it, and it's too risky, right? So when we're on the path of the dove, this is the card we don't want. It's the impulsiveness. This is the rash behavior. This is dancing with the tiger. Maybe not worth it, right? Don't do that. Don't dance with tigers. So that's the card that we don't want when we're over here. But I'll tell you, when we get over here, this is the card we need. Right? We need to just sort of let loose and allow the impulse to move us forward. Okay, but over here we don't want that. Okay, you see, so that card, this position of the dove and serpent spread changes its meaning depending on where we are in the reading. Okay, and I'm doing an online course through the website all about the tarot. I'm going to have 3 courses. There's going to be an introductory course, an intermediate course, an advanced course, and then actually maybe a 4th, a master course, right? And we'll start from the basics, and then we'll work our way up to the very advanced sort of level understanding and interaction with the cards and with the energies, okay? But anyway, that's coming. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have the first introductory course ready. It'll be on the website, so just go check it out over there once in a while and see if you see anything about it. I'll make an announcement too. But you don't need to worry about that right now, because I'll tell you, when we get over here, this card is going to be the energy, exactly the energy that we need to push us through that doorway. Okay? And I think you have this intuition that is sort of opposed to your rational thinking. And of course, I think with the adjustment card or the Libra energy, we're sort of doing a little bit of both. We're sort of partaking of both. We may be giving a little bit more weight to the intuition, but we're keeping our swords with us too. Okay? And that's allowing us, if this is the river, you're clothing yourself in armor, you're getting in your nice fortified boat, and you are sailing up the Nile, right? You are, well, maybe paddling up the Nile, right? And I think that it's really leading you to an increase in everything. It's really leading you to a boon here. I think you're going to be just, you have no idea how happy you'll be, especially if we're coming off of the 9 of Cups in your background position anyway. I feel like this is a really, really good place for you to be, right? A 9 of Cups. It's you living your best life. It is you living the dream, right? It's you having just this kind of superabundance, right? It's the process of happiness. You're pursuing your happiness and following your bliss. This is the previous energy for you. This is yesterday's energy. Today we're on the river sailing to our future. Why would we leave that? Okay? And I think that really is the question that you're trying to ask yourself. When we've got an 8 of Swords down here, it's kind of like trying to figure out if this is the smartest thing you've ever done or the dumbest thing you've ever done. I wonder if we're going to get a Fool card here somewhere. Maybe the mystery card. But this is, we're trying to analyze, we're trying to see all sides of this situation. Now, I don't know if it's a work thing, if it's a relationship thing, family thing, if it's something about school, something about your spiritual work, maybe, right? But it's this idea of you're being given this opportunity to go do something that's kind of absolutely crazy. Why would you leave? You have this, let's say, a very successful job now. But sailing ahead on this river is going to take you to a new job. A new job that's sort of promising you a lot. And you feel drawn to this thing, but your rational mind is saying, why are we leaving the good thing we have now to go after this other thing that, yeah, maybe it could be better, but we don't know, I think this is part of your rational thinking energy, your mind, your intellect, your good common sense that says, what are you doing? Why are you doing this, right? So underneath everything, you've got this little smidgen of doubt, right? Let's do an affirmation card, just see if we can put a little positive energy on that 8 of Swords, yeah? Peace. Be calm, and calm will come. In some ways, this is us. If you have a very good thing now, right? 9 of Cups. This is such superabundance. Physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. This is perfect. This is everything. This is like a great life, right? If we're expecting this journey down this river, if you're going to take this opportunity, take this risk or whatever, if you're expecting it to be terrible, it will be terrible, right? And so I think that if you're calm, calm will come. And maybe there's going to be parts of this river journey, this path that you're headed down, if you choose to take it. It is all about your decision at the end here with the Eon card and the Princess of Wands. If you choose to go down this path, there may be places where the river becomes the rapids, But if you're calm, if you handle it in this kind of, very cool hanged man kind of way, then I think you have a good chance of, staying in the boat and getting through the rapids, and everything's going to be fine, right? So it's all about our demeanor in a certain way. If we're agitated, the world around us will be agitated. If we're calm, our energy is more likely to seep into other areas and to sort of instill calm in those around us. You think of people in any kind of an emergent situation. If people are freaking out, you're going to start freaking out. If you are sort of calm and you exude this calm energy, more likely to calm other people down too. You think of like nurses and doctors and EMTs and paramedics and things. If they're looking at you and they're freaking out, I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to be scared. But if they seem calm and cool and be like, it's a scratch, I'll be more likely to, to keep my cool too. So I think there's a lesson to be learned in that type of energy. But what we want to do is be prepared for this journey. So with the 9 of Cups, sometimes we feel as if nothing's going to go wrong. See, we could do the other side of this. If we expect everything to be totally fine, then we're going to be very surprised by the rapids, by the obstacles, by the bumps in the road. There are crocodiles in the water. We got to be careful, right? So the Chariot card is you safeguarding what is important to you. You're moving forward with this thing, and you're trying to be smart about it. You're trying to keep everything fortified, but at the same time, you're really trying to sort of invoke this idea of calm and peaceful energy, especially with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is just kind of saying, I'm just going to dive into this. Spirit will carry me. Whatever happens, happens. Right? And of course, your intellect, your common sense is saying, wait a minute, no. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. But it's also the most divine thing you've ever heard, because then we've got that high priestess at the top, okay? So as vulnerable as we are, I mean, this is someone naked and afraid right here, the hanged man, right? Let's put a little armor on. Let's make sure we got the right kind of boat, okay? And then it's kind of like we're satisfying both the high priestess and the Eight of Swords, both the intuition and the intellect. Saying, okay, I'm going to dive right in. Spirit's going to carry me. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to move with the current of this, this path. But I'm also going to take a bunch of supplies with me. I'm going to make sure I got a good boat. I'm going to make sure I have the right kind of clothes, the right outfit, and I'm going to fortify myself for the journey. So it's the best of both worlds, okay? So it's, in some ways, it's hoping for the best, preparing for the worst. Yeah, because the Nine of Cups, this could be the feeling like everything is bliss, nothing could possibly go wrong here. Then you'll be, I think, very unpleasantly surprised when some little thing or other goes wrong. We don't really see any of that happening, though. But I want to make sure that this Eight of Swords, because this is the odd card out, right? Everything else, positive, 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 everything's positive, except for this is saying, there's got to be something. It's like if things seem too good to be true, maybe they are. Maybe there's something we're not seeing about it, right? So we have to be optimistic, but we also want to take a good dose of common sense and say, this might be a little bit more challenging than I'm expecting. Things aren't going to always be so blissful, right? But Spirit, High Priestess, is showing you, I think, through dreams, visions, synchronicities, through your own direct communication with Spirit, because this is at the top of the path of the dove. I feel like you are just insanely connected with Spirit right now. I feel like you are, you're having the vivid dreams, the lucid dreams, you're having visions, you're channeling your guides. I think that the communication is very strong. If you don't have a dream journal, start a dream journal. If you don't have a journal at all, what are you doing? You've got to write this stuff down, okay? As much as you can immediately after the experience. I imagine you probably do some sort of mediumship or divination. You probably do your tarot cards. You probably even do geomancy or Jing. Those are services I offer on the website too, by the way. Shameless plug here. But I feel that you're tapped in that way. Okay, and so this is something that you say, yeah, this is going to be even better. This is going to take what is already a pretty good current of energy, and it's going to expand it into something even more, right? Something even more. And I think that the Libra energy going forward with the adjustment card is the best of both worlds, like we've been talking about. And we kind of have that juxtaposition in a lot of places here. Because we've got intuition and intellect, right? That's saying Spirit's telling you this is your path, but your common sense is saying, well, it's not going to be as easy as we think. Of course, we have the vulnerability of the hanged man and the sacrifice and the just giving in and just diving in, letting the current take you, versus I'm going to at least put my oars in the water and have a boat that won't sink and have some good food on board and keep my supplies going, right? So these two are kind of... they're not opposites. These are complementary energies, just as these are. The intuition and the intellect aren't supposed to be enemies. They're supposed to be complementary, intertwined, right? Because they can speak to each other. They can authenticate each other. Spirit's telling you something. Your mind is saying, that can't be real, right? Then we need to have a conversation and figure out, are we misunderstanding Spirit? Is the intellect not seeing something that Spirit's trying to show us? Or is it this idea that what we assume is a message from the divine is one of our own unconscious tendencies or complexes or unfulfilled desires or wishes that are speaking, in Spirit's name, let's say. So we need the juxtaposition. These are complementary energies. And that's shown here by the balance, by the weight that we give the different messages in our life, the way that we evaluate. We're sort of with this card, we're weighing we're checking the weight, how much, the proverbial weight, how much significance or importance we're placing on intellect and intuition. Okay, and how they might balance each other out and create this kind of this harmony, right? Where we can be calm because we've prepared for everything, and we're also trusting fully in spirit. And so, it's like we can't lose, right? We're going to move over to the path of the serpent now. And as we do this section of cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. And it supports the channel, and I really, really do appreciate that. So you've got your Three of Wands here. Three of Wands is your identity. Three of Wands is that part of you that feels that impulse, that feels like this, just like almost like every part of your body is saying, yes, this is the path forward. This is something I absolutely want to do. Maybe you're leaving a very good job and you're going to go take a risk on this kind of this chance opportunity, this unguaranteed, right? New job or a different career choice, or this other opportunity that is kind of like it's gonna ask you to sort of sail away from that good thing that you already have. Okay, now maybe we're talking business, maybe we're talking romance, maybe we're talking spiritual stuff or religious thing. I don't know, right? Could be anything. But this is you checking in with your will. You feel this impulse, you feel drawn, it feels like I want to do it. Check in with your mind, check in with your heart. I think your heart wants to do it, your heart is in it, but your mind, as we see, is a little bit, let's think about a few things first. Yeah. But we see with the Eight of Swords, we don't want to get stuck in that overthinking. The mind is going to try to occupy you with just a lot of busy thoughts. Let's plan a little bit and then we'll go. And then we get stuck in the planning phase for days and days, and years go by and we never do it. Okay? So eventually we're going to have to kind of make that executive decision and say, now's the time. Now, you know what? Let's do it. And what we see in the environment, I think, as we sort of make that commitment, because again, this is sort of your identity, right? This feels like this is what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe we'll get the Star card over here in the Mystery card, or it will be the Luster Strength card, your Leo Power card. This feels like it's what you're supposed to be doing in life. Okay? Your heart is already can sort of feel the benefits, but then your mind is saying, okay, not so fast. Let's have our common sense, And then, of course, the environment, we get a Nine of Pentacles. This is something that's going to improve your life. It's something that's going to add to the wealth that you feel, add to the richness and the purpose and the abundance that you have in life. Whatever stage of life you're at now, this is a path that's going to create more for you, right? This is a path that's going to expand what you have already. If this is obviously, if it's career, this is going to be something that, well, it's going to open up more doors for you. It's going to pay you more. It's going to lead you on to greater and greater things. If this is romance, then this is going to be a leveling up of that romance. Let's say you're in a relationship already. This might even be saying that marriage is in your future. That this could be that sort of option where it's just like, why are you going to tinker with a good thing, But Spirit's telling you, I think your soul is telling you that this is right for you. This is what you want. We have to have our common sense, We got to be reasonable about it. But I feel like this is really this is that kind of a thing. And especially when we talk about the Libra energy, this is a card of partnerships, of agreements, of contracts even, right? Are we talking marriage? Are we talking a business contract? Are we talking about, starting a new employment? That sort of thing. Because this is that card of a union, but of a binding, maybe even like a professional kind or a legal kind of binding. So this is something that I think is going to take commitment for you. This really is starting to feel like that kind of marriage thing. Maybe we'll get the Lovers here as the Mystery card. But it's going to be an improvement. It's going to be an increase. It's going to bring you more happiness, more success. This is someone really living their best life. right? And this is a card of the way of life. It's just sort of it's not really about what you're doing, but how you're doing it and why you're doing it, right? And between these two, well, this is a life that is beyond happy, right? I think this is happening in the next week or so, because the Chariot card is the seventh mystery of the tarot. I'm thinking 7 days, you're going to really have to make the decision whether or not to get on this boat, okay? And move ahead toward this this partnership, this agreement, this commitment, whatever it is. Yeah, this is really, you have a lot of really good cards. And now that we're on the path of the serpent, we kind of need the impulsive Princess of Wands. This is the fool rushing into something, you know. It's that sort of impulsiveness. But now it's not really, it's not impulsiveness that is completely just, you know, rash and inconsiderate and naive. No, because you've sort of checked in with everything. You've analyzed your will. And now this is the card of rushing in, but not in a way that's uninformed. Not in a way that's just like following every whim you have and getting into all sorts of disasters, you know. You're dancing with the tiger, but it's a very calculated risk now. Now it's something that you've thought through and you've prepared for. You know it's not going to be just smooth sailing all the way up the Nile. There's going to be some crocodiles and some rapids and some cataracts to navigate around and that sort of thing. But you're ready to rush in, okay? And what you're doing is rushing through this doorway and changing your life completely. This is the Eon card. It's a rebirth. It's a reawakening. It's a baptism by fire. Sometimes it's a trial by fire. Okay? So this is, again, sort of echoing the idea that it's not going to be perfectly easy and smooth sailing, that it's going to require you to put in work, right? Which all good things do. But this is sort of... it's like you're leveling up. You're jumping to a new timeline. You're sort of teleporting to a new dimension here, right? So it feels like it's really a big leap up. Okay. This card requires a decision to be made. This card, and you know, we could be talking about moving to a new house or buying a house or something with the home. I'm getting the feeling that there is something about the home or the family sort of life. Yeah. And it maybe is, you know, with the Nine of Cups, it's saying, well, we're happy here. Why would we move? You know? But this card does require the decision, the choice. It's up to you. It's your call. No one's going to force you to do it. I think the question, you know, Spirit is proposing this question to you, or posing the question. Maybe somebody in your life is sort of, bringing it up or something like that. But that's not really the point here, because we don't see a lot of cards about anybody else. We see one court card only. Mostly this is a spiritual path for you. This is some spiritual work that you need to focus on. Okay? You need to focus, of course, on being open and vulnerable and kind of trusting in the current of the universe, the current of your life. You need to listen to Spirit, right? You need to do things in a calm and balanced way, and you need to accept your future, right? Because this is something meant for you. We're going to look at this mystery card. What do you think it's going to be? I think either Lust or Strength card, Fool card, Star card, maybe Lover's card, maybe Empress, maybe. I'm kind of thinking Lover's card here, you know? If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. Oh, the Devil. Interesting. The Devil is a very interesting card, especially in this situation, because it's kind of asking you the question, the deciding factor for you is going to be the answer to the question, why is it that you want to do this? Okay? Is there because the devil card is a card that is saying yes, is climbing the mountain. It knows it's going to be difficult, but the devil's going to climb. It's that goat. It's that mountain goat. Going to climb all the way to the top. Yes, of course. But you put any mountain in front of the devil card, and it's going to climb. Because it's not discerning. It's not deciding which mountain is the right mountain. That's up to you. That's up to spirit, right? This is just the engine in the car. This is the oars of the boat. Of course, the oars are going to paddle you to wherever the river takes you. It's up to you if you're going to be on the boat or not. The engine in the car doesn't decide where we travel, where we drive, right? So I think we're sort of asking the question to ourselves, why do I want this so bad? Is this something that I want just because of the excitement or the pleasure of it? Is this something that I want just to kind of, just to almost prove that I can do it, or prove to somebody else that I can do it, or to just for the sort of for the title of it, just for so I can say, hey, look what I did? Or is this something that you want to do because you feel that it is building your life up in the right way? Is this something creative and constructive? Is this something generative? Right? And maybe that's part of this Three of Wands too, that we're asking, okay, I want this, but why? Right? And I think that is going to be the deciding factor if we can understand why we feel this ambition and this drive to leap into this. At least understanding what our motivations are. Because again, I think the Eight of Swords is kind of saying, things are so good right now, why would we tinker with them? So there is this ambition in you for something. And maybe it is because you feel that this is the path that's going to allow you to grow your life and build your life. And maybe you're building a home, building a family, and this is a natural sort of creative evolution of your life. Or maybe it's just because, well, it feels good right now, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump in because in this moment, it just feels like it'd be fun. And either way is fine, right? There's no right or wrong answer here, but it's for you to understand what your motivation is, to understand the why behind this driving desire that you have to go forward with this. Why you feel sort of drawn to this or compelled to this. Why do you want to say yes? Just to understand your own reasons, that's all. No right or wrong answers, okay? We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Leo, Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.